Hello everyone, I'm Juliet, an embroiderer in London, and I'm the founder of Trouble in Paradise. It's a concept based around embroidery craft, and on that YouTube channel, I am going to share my passion and love for embroidery. In this video, I'm going to guide you through my first embroidery kit for children. Hope you're going to enjoy.
First of all, I'm going to show you what's in your embroidery kit. You will find the folded fabric, you might have to ask an adult to iron the folds to make sure it's without crease. You will also find instruction on what you need to get before starting the embroidery. Don't worry, this is explained later in the video. There is also a paper copy of your letter in case you want to do the embroidery again. And finally, the seed beads and the sequins. And careful, you will also find a needle inside. I'm gonna tell you what tools you need to get before starting the embroidery. You'll need a sharp pair of scissors. They don't need to be pointy. White thread, cotton or polyester, it doesn't really matter. So this is not included in the kit, as I believe most people have some at home. Pins. You don't need a full box, but 20 should be fine. A folded tea towel, not fluffy if possible. In the video, I'm using what we call in French embroidery slang, un pâté. It's like a velvet pad. You use it to display the beads and sequins while doing the embroidery. It makes it easier to grab them one by one. About the embroidery hoop, also called tambour hoop, you have two different sizes here, 30 centimeters and 20 centimeters in diameter. You need to decide regarding the letter of your kit. Most letters will fit in the smaller one, but some, like the M for example, will require the larger hoop. You can see I've rubbed the wood with some fabric. You don't need to do it. Mine are like those because I sometimes use delicate fabric. You are going to receive yours without the wrapping, so don't worry, they can be used as they are. In the video, you will see I will be working on a professional embroidery slate frame. It's a wooden frame and I use it to stretch my fabric. It's more stable for the video. If you're interested in those, send me a private message. My father makes my frames. Now the clamps. You don't need to have them as big as mine, but you do need 2 of them. Is to allow you to use both hands for the embroidery. Finally, before starting, I'm going to show you how to place the fabric in the hoop. You can see my letter, J, fits in the 25 centimeter hoop, so I will use this hoop. You obviously do this with the blank fabric without embroidery. First, the ring that has no metallic parts. Then, you place your fabric on top. Try to center the letter. Then you place the other ring. Make sure the screw is at the top. If it doesn't fit, just unscrew a tiny bit and try again. Let's try again. Make sure you do this on a table or hard surface.
Alright, now it's time to start the embroidery. But before, I need to show you how to attach your embroidery hoop to the table. First of all, I'm going to explain quickly how those clamps work. To make them tighter, you press on this and you see it closes the gap. Then if you want to release it, up, you press on this one here and then it releases the tension. So now you put your embroidery hoop about halfway on the table to make sure it's stable. Then you take your clamp, the first one, and then you make it tighter up, and then you do exactly the same for the second one. And here we go.
I'll advise you to use pins to temporarily fix the sequins onto the fabric as you work. I will make sure I place the big sequins first, and some of the sequins won't have any, so you can just use a pin to make some. You can also change your mind and place it somewhere else. That's what I actually really love about embroidery, is you can make choice as you go. I also encourage you to shape any sequence by cutting parts off if you feel like it. You don't need to do exactly like me. Every embroidery will be different. Let's say I'm happy with this placement over there. We're going to start the embroidery now. Yay! Take the white thread. Use your arm to measure twice from your elbow to your finger. Cut with the scissors. To thread the needle, it's not that difficult. Lick the end of your thread, place the very end of your thread in between your thumb and your index. Then you press down the needle in between those fingers, aiming the tip of the thread to go through the eye of the needle. To make a knot, you wrap your finger and cross the thread like this. Put your thumb on top of the cross. Then you rub both fingers against each other, which makes the threads twist. Finally, you pull down and it creates the knot. If you struggle, just ask for some help. Mastering this can take time. What we should have so far is a double thread knotted at the end with a folded thread on the eye of the needle. Now I'm going to show you how to stitch sequins. You can use the pins mark to help you see where to start. I take my needle through and go back down very close to create a tiny stitch. This is what I call in French un point perdu, which means lost stitch. Go back up with the needle. Thread your sequins onto the needle and push it down. Pick up a seed bead, push it down, then the needle goes down through the sequence hole only. The bead will secure the sequin by staying on top. Before I move on onto my next big sequence, I stitch smaller ones in between exactly the same way. Try to fill in as much as you can as you move on to bigger elements. Some sequins only have one hole. Let me show you how to stop them from moving around. I will stitch a row of beads over the shape. I'm taking 4 beads and stitch them down. I can see there is a gap. I'll fill it up with small sequins before going down. It's like a puzzle where you need to find the right piece for the right spot. Now I'm adding a bead. For some very small sequins, you can stitch them without a bead, as it would cover completely. Instead, just use the thread and add 2 stitches from one side to another, starting from the center out. For the knot, I recommend you to pick somewhere you're planning to embroider on top. Under the butterfly, for example. I'll do 3 little stitches inside each other. Don't worry if it's not neat, it's going to be covered anyway. use the pins marked to know where to start again. Use 2 different beads to stitch the butterfly down. We are almost at the end. I tried to fill it side up as much as I could. I can't wait to see your embroideries on social media. Don't forget to tag me or send me your pictures. My Instagram is Juliet Trouble in Paradise, all together. Don't worry if your embroidery doesn't match exactly mine. Hand embroidery is like handwriting. We all have our own. And don't forget, I've been doing this for over 10 years now. To stitch faster, only use one hand and your index to pick up a sequin or a bead. Just a few more sequins and it's done! Look at this mess with all the flying beads and sequins. Now your next project could be to do it all over again, but on the back of a denim jacket, for example. If you enjoyed this video and also are part of an embroidery cult like me, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. More content coming.
Bonjour à vous, je m'appelle Juliette, je suis brodeuse à Londres et bienvenue sur ma chaîne YouTube. Ça c'est mon chat Chati. Tu vas attendre 2 minutes. Bonjour et bienvenue sur ma chaîne. Si vous souhaitez l'acquérir, la démarche à faire sera dans la description ci-dessous. Attends.